In today's video, we will be showing you step by step how to build an amazing haunted house prop from a toy dollhouse. It's so easy, even my cat helped out. First, find an old dollhouse. I found this one at a thrift store for $1. The next thing to do is make this pink dollhouse look old and creepy. A flat black coat will do just that. Shake and paint. Flat colors are easy to paint, so don't worry about messing anything up. Next up, let's add some paint to the roof. If everything is black, it would look pretty dull. I like to use AK paints and Game Air, as they are meant for plastic miniatures and are great paints. It's looking okay, but it still looks like a dollhouse. We need to make it look old and spooky. We need old wooden siding. Grab popsicle sticks and cut the round ends off. Do this until your fingers bleed. Next, wash the popsicle sticks in a black wash. Now take each stick and figure out where they need to go and measure them by eye. There's no need to be exact here. By cutting and ripping the edges instead of a nice clean cut, it will look old and decayed. Now just glue them in place. Angle them as necessary and highlight any windows. Next, we need to add some elements to our house, as well as think about the atmosphere we want to create. I grabbed this really cheap modeling clay. It's super light and kind of foamy. It comes in different colors, but that doesn't matter because you can paint it afterwards. Now let's spread the clay on the house where we want some fireplace bricks. Don't worry about the color. And let's carve in some stonework. Once done, just set it aside and allow it to dry. I think for that portion of the house that is missing a roof, why not have some sort of Cthulhu creature bursting out of it? Sculpt the head and add beads for eyes, and add details to the skin. Next, grab some flexible garden ties. These are used to hold up plants and plant stems. It is flexible and will add strength to the Cthulhu arms. Simply cut, wrap clay around, and stick the sharp end into Cthulhu's rear end. Add some little tentacles around his mouth. As that dries, go back to the house. I painted the clay brown, and now I'm gonna add some highlights to the bricks again with a bunch of the AK paints. Cthulhu is dry, so let's paint him a base coat, and then highlight with a light color. I'm gonna paint him green. Now grab some rocks. I got a bunch of white rocks from the dollar stores. I added paint. I started with green, added darker colors like brown, gold, and dark green to give the rocks a more natural look. Cthulhu needs some wings too. Cut some out of cardboard and just glue them on. I found this amazing base at the thrift store too. You can easily make one, but any little tabletop will do. Now I grabbed some ivy leaves and the rocks and started to paint them, and I also added some yellow flowers and sprayed them loosely with a brown to make them look old and rotten. I decided to make a witch's cauldron out of clay, but this one should be very creepy. I cut out some cardboard and I made a thick cauldron. I started to fill the cauldron with eyes of various sizes. You can find these at the dollar store as well. I added the ivy leaves and glued eyes to each end to make it look like something horrible was crawling out of the witch's brew. It is starting to come together. I added some foliage to the stand and around the house. My cat Misty decided this is where she wanted to help out. She is making sure I place everything in the correct areas. Next, I found some glow-in-the-dark stones at the dollar store, and I think I'm going to use these as a pathway for the entrance to the house. I also picked up some plastic spiders, a toy witch figure, and a gargoyle. I placed the gargoyle on the top of the house, put a little stone bridge for the entranceway, and added some miniature toy pumpkins. Misty made sure all the pumpkins were in the right areas. I glued a skeleton head in the foliage, added the witch, and found this Halloween decoration at the thrift store. It's a gravedigger. This will fit right in. And now to place my creepy eye cauldron. And to place the glow-in-the-dark rocks to make that pathway. I added more broken siding to the ground to make it look like Cthulhu just broke out. Now for the inside. I made a simple tissue ghost for one window and added some tiny LED tea light candles. Now, let's test it out. Looks spooky. I will use this house as a candy tray. That big window right in the center will hold candy, and you will have to reach over and into this house to grab some candy. And here it is complete with all the little details. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We would also like to hear from you. What do you think of our haunted house? Leave a comment below. Thank you and happy Halloween.